Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to QAT channel. In this series of videos, inshallah, we are going to start learning about the second area of Arabic verbs. We call them increased verb forms. In Arabic, we call them Mazid fi. So let's begin, inshallah. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Inshallah, this session, we're going to go over a brief introduction of increased verb forms, and we're going to go over the soft subject tables to see the basic patterns of these verb forms. Now let's learn about some of the basic information about increased verb forms. Increased verb forms consist of 12 families. And each of these families, it has its unique patterns. Among the 12 families, usually 9 forms or families are used. These families are designated as forms 2 through 10 with Roman letters. Unlike form 1, the verbs and the nouns in the increased verb forms carry extra letters. This is the main difference between form 1 and increased verb forms. In form 1, you remember for the past tense, there are 3 root letters and suffixes. For present tense, there is prefix, 3 root letters and suffixes. In increased verb forms, we will have all those elements on top of them, then there will be some extra letters. We will see that in the table. Also, increased verb forms, they do not have noun of usage, meaning ismul ala, and also they do not have superlative or comparative nouns like ismul tafdil, but they have ismul dharf. Okay. Now, in terms of prefix and suffixes, these verb forms, the prefixes and suffixes of these verb forms are as same as that of form 1, except the active present tense prefixes of forms 2 through 4, they carry dhamma instead of fatha. Remember, for form 1, the active present tense prefixes, they carry fatha. For example, yaf'ali. When it's passive for form 1, the prefixes carry a dhamma, like yuf'alu. But for forms 2 through 4, we will see dhamma for the prefixes, even for the active present tense. Okay. Now let's go over the soft subject table of these forms, inshallah. So this table, we have forms 2 through 10. And again, soft subject table is like an abridged table. It basically carries singular patterns, mostly masculine. Okay, let me introduce the topics of these tables, topics of the columns. So this table, we have root letters, we have form IDs, masdar, then these green columns are the active. Active past for third person singular male, active present for third person singular male, active participle for third person singular male, active command for second person singular male. Remember, for the command, the direct command applies to second person, like you. Okay, so these are the active commands for second person singular male, active prohibition for second person singular male. Then these orange columns are the passive. Passive past for third person singular male, passive present for third person singular male, passive participle for third person singular male, and ismul dharf, noun of time and place. Now you can see in this table, we have made some of the letters in red. These are the extra letters. Now let me go over each of the forms and explain their pattern in terms of extra letter. So verb from to, so for example, we are using sod, ra, fa, the past active, sorrafa, present active, yusorrifu. Over here, the root letter, but the ain position root letter is extra. Instead of one, there are two, so it's double. Okay. For verb from three, qatala, yuqatilu. So over here, right after the fa position letter, there is an extra alif. Verb from four, akrama, yukrimu. Over here, just before the fa position letter, there is an extra hamza with fatha for the past active. Verb from five, taqabbala, yataqabbalu. Over here, just before the fa position letter, there is an extra ta. Also, the ain position letter is doubled. Verb from six, taqabala, yutaqabalu. Over here, just before the fa position letter, there is an extra ta, and also right after the fa position letter, there is an extra alif. Verb from seven, infatara, yunfatiru. Okay, over here, just before the fa position letter, there is an extra noon, and this particular verb form, it also starts for the past active and also for the past active actually. It starts with Hamzatul Wasl. Okay. Then verb form 8, ijtanaba, yajtanib. So over here, just after the fa position letter, there is an extra ta. And this verb form also for the past, it starts with Hamzatul Wasl. Then verb from 9, ihmarra, yahmar. Over here, the lam position letter is doubled. Then we have verb from 10, istansara, yastankiru. Over here, just before the fa position letter, there's sin and ta consecutively. Sin and ta, these are the extra letters. And these verb form, the past tense, also start with Hamzatul Wasl. These purple color forms, these are called, in general, these are called Hamzatul Wasl families. Okay, because they start with Hamzatul Wasl. Then also these families, these two forms, verb from 5 and 6, I put them in one color coding, because they start with ta as an extra letter. Verb from 2, 3, 4, they don't really fall under any specific category, so I colored them in one. But when we are going to learn each session, we're going to do a separate session for each of these verb forms. Okay, I will go over only one verb form as an example. So verb from 2, sod, ra, fa. We are taking the root letters as sod, ra, fa. So masdar, tasrifa. Masdar is a noun. It can be at the state of rafa, nasab, jar. Over here we are showing nasab form. Excuse me. So the masdar, tasrif, past active, sarrafa, past present, yusarrifu, active participle, musarrifun, active command, sarrif, active prohibition, la tusarrif, passive past, surrifa, passive present, yusarrafu, passive participle, musarrafun, also ismu verb, musarrafun. For increased verb forms, the passive participle and ismu verb, they have exactly same pattern. Now I like to go a little bit for the dictionary. In the dictionary, I'd like to show you how we're going to find the meaning for increased verb forms. Over here, I have already entered qaf, ta, lam. Okay. So when we go to dictionary, when we enter the root letters, immediately it starts with simple verbs, like form 1, what we learned. Okay, regular simple verbs. So for example, this is mujarrad sahih or simple verbs. So we are going to read it. Qatala yaqtul. Okay, this U is representing dhamma for the second root. But if our pattern is increased verb forms, then we are not going to take these meaning. Okay, we have to go to the particular that Roman number. So for example, for the qaf, the lam root letters, we have qatala, that is verb form 3. So we are going to look for verb form 3. So for this particular set of root letters, it exists as verb form 2, 3, 7, and probably there are many at the bottom. But for example, for verb form 3, the meaning is to combat, battle. And you can see for mujarrad, the meaning is a little different. The meaning is to kill. That's why it's very important we translate, when we study Quran, we translate based on the pattern. So that's why it's very important we understand the pattern, and hence we are going to find the correct meaning, inshallah. Okay, so let's go back to our document, inshallah. So I just explained in general, like how each form they're differing, in terms of their pattern, unique pattern, and where is the extra letter for each of these patterns. Okay, so for the next session, what we are going to do, we are going to start with this purple group. The next session will start with verb form 7. These purple groups are, as I said, these are Hamzah al-Wasl families. They start with the Hamzah al-Wasl, and we are going to go over them first. And after that, inshallah, we'll go over the 2 forms. They start with ta as the extra letter, and then we are going to do verb form 2, 3, 4. So inshallah, so that will be coming in the next session. Inshallah, we will go over verb form 7. We'll learn the details, the patterns of verb form 7, and we are going to go over examples from Quran, and we are going to see how we can identify verb form 7 patterns in the midst of other words. Until then, please keep us in your dua. May Allah grant barakah on all your effort. Assalamu alaikum.